Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of DMS 3000 News. It's episode 107 on this Monday, January 22nd, 2004. And I am Jason DeCanio, your gracious host and moderator, welcoming you again to another fantastic week and another great look at some fantastic articles as we draw closer to the end of January. Hope January is treating you very well. I know it is to me. Sometimes we have this feeling that January tends to lag and drag, and usually the first month of the new year kind of gets everybody wondering which way it's going to go, and we don't have any kind of control over it. So if you do have control of your situations and everything, and your finances are in order, and you're kind of wondering where things are going to go in February, we're not that far away. We're about 2 weeks away from the end of the month, and a good thing for that, because next month, not only do we are celebrating Chinese New Year on the February 10th with the Year of the Dragon, we have some articles that pertaining to that. All next month, we'll be looking at each day that we're on DMS 3000 News. We're going to be looking at a famous African-American historian, someone who has great contributions to Black History Month. We will look at fantastic people who have stood the test of time, changed the course of history, and of course, we'll go ahead and give you their fantastic tributes to those great people all next month. So keep an eye on for that as well. Also, too, we've got Valentine's Day coming up on the 14th of February, and also as well, in March is National Disabilities Month, where we'll be looking at people with special needs and stuff that have basically sent a positive impact and given those people great inspiration to do many great things in their lives. We'll look at some famous people who have either a mental disability, a physical disability, whatever the case. We'll go ahead and tribute their wonderful life if they're still here on the earth. If they have passed on, they have passed on their information and knowledge to future generations to give them hope and encouragement. And we thank them for that. All of that coming up in the next couple of months. And of course, St. Patrick's Day, which is on a Sunday this year, but we'll be looking at it on a special Friday edition, March 15th, with some great articles pertaining to St. Patrick's Day. All of that we'll give you more information about later on in the program. Now, first up on the articles today is if someone asks you to do me a favor over email, don't respond. Yeah, one of those interesting scammer situations where, you get that email or that text stating that I need a favor, or something of that sort, and it doesn't look really good. Don't respond, because you never know what could be attached to it. We'll give you all the important information about that. And how to tell if you're using too much laundry detergent. When we wash clothes, we think more is better. Well, not really if you want to overflow your washing machine. So we'll give you all the tips and tricks. And nowadays, I think to this point, most washing machines have HE compatibility. So I don't think you can get away with not using a laundry detergent that's not HE compatible. We'll give you all of that later on as well. And it is the Year of the Dragon coming around in February on the 10th next month. So what does 2024 has in store for you for the Year of the Dragon? Usually dragons are very good, lucky things, symbolic-wise, and we will give you all of the wonderful things that could possibly happen to you this year in 2024. Plus the headline sports and other important information. We have today, of course, Monday's News of the Weird from last Friday. What day is today? And, of course, Ralph Marston with the motivation of the day. It's a fantastic lineup here. Mondays are usually a good one because we try to break it all into the week. We've got our commercials ready to go. I will have a special announcement for you as well for tomorrow. And chilling 3000 Hangouts Fridays at 8 o'clock. David is working on some new guests for the upcoming weeks. We'll see what he has in store for all of you on that particular Friday. The rendition of Want to Talk Football? Yeah, let's talk football. Weekdays at 7:30 p.m. We're going to have, I think, 2 more shows. It was a fantastic championship series with the games all this past weekend. We'll go ahead over that with sports as well. And then Wipe Those Tears follows Let's Talk Football at 9 o'clock. Me and the Tier Masters, Gianni Pizzi, Brendan Bogard, and, of course, Mark Leota will all still be doing NES games. And I throw out an invitation to Scott McVeigh. He was a thank you again for filling in for Brandon Bogard last week. And you are more than welcome to join the panel and make it a foursome. So we have 5 people coming in to do fantastic NES games. But we'll be doing some more tiers, of course. We're going to try to mix it up at least once a month, kind of break up the monotony a little bit. I'll give you that later on in the program, okay? I have something else too, but I'm going to go ahead and we got to get ready to go here. Let's do the headlines and sports and other important information first. Remember, all of our information comes from NPR, and we're ready to go. Today's headlines for January 22nd, 2024. New Hampshire is investigating a robocall that was made to sound like Biden. The New Hampshire Attorney General is investigating recorded calls that appear to use a voice crafted to sound like President Biden to tell voters to not cast their ballot in the state's primary. Whoa. There you go, right? Dexter Scott King, son of the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., has died of cancer at the age of 62. The third of 4 King children, the 62-year-old died from prostate cancer at his home in Malibu, California, according to the King Center, where he served as chairman. Ooh. Photos documenting the war in Gaza as the Palestinian death toll passes 25,000. Photos from Israel and Gaza show some of what the past week has looked like for people on the ground there as the conflict enters its 4th month. Whew. India's Modi inaugurates a long-promised but controversial Hindu temple in Ayodhya. Wow, Ayodhya. The temple inauguration marks the culmination of a decades-long dispute over a site Hindus believe is the birthplace of the god Ram, and critics call the temple a monument to India's eroding secularism. The FAA says airlines should check the door plugs on another model of Boeing planes. The Federal Aviation Administration is recommending that airlines visually inspect the door plugs of Boeing 737-900ER, the jets, after some airlines reported unspecified issues with the bolts. Japan shuts down its Slim Moon lander in hopes it will restart someday. The lander was powered down at 12% battery power, saving enough juice for a potential restart. And now Japan's space agency will see if its solar cell can give the lander any electricity. Here's what happened in the NFL playoffs over the weekend, on and off the field. This Sunday, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens will clash in the AFC Championship game, while the Detroit Lions will tangle with the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC Championship game. In Washington State, pharmacists are poised to start prescribing abortion drugs. They're pioneering a new model of care that will allow for one-stop, same-day access to mifepristone, no appointment necessary. She began to panic during a double biopsy, and then she felt a comforting touch. In the middle of a long and painful medical procedure, Aya McMillan started to panic, but a kind stranger did something that helped her get through it. Why the war in Ukraine is bad for climate science. The invasion of Ukraine hampered collaboration with Russian climate scientists. That's bad news for our collective ability to understand and prepare for a hotter planet. Much of the U.S. is still gripped by Arctic weather as Memphis deals with broken water pipes. Sub-freezing conditions and treacherous roads have contributed to dozens of deaths this month across the U.S., where states as far as south as Texas and Florida remain gripped by deadly Arctic weather. And Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has dropped out of the race for the Republican presidential nomination and endorsed Trump. On the southern border of Gaza, a tent shortage has added to Palestinians' misery. 10 questions about the New Hampshire primary, including, can anyone beat Trump? Well, the state could be the last stand for Republicans who don't want Donald Trump to be their nominee again. There likely won't be another opportunity with such a moderate Republican electorate. If you donate DNA, what should scientists give in return? A path-breaking new model. Well, that's how a prominent medical ethicist describes the researchers' innovative plan to share study results with participants in Kenya. Proposed bill Proposed federal law would put limits on the use of $50 billion in opioid settlements. Lawmakers want to ensure the funds are actually used to fight the addiction crisis, not as a piggy bank for other projects. New Hampshire may be Nikki Haley's last chance to keep presidential hopes alive. Haley is the only major candidate left facing former President Donald Trump, even though she has her best polling numbers in New Hampshire, which votes Tuesday. The rest of the calendar is an uphill battle. Why Vice President Harris went to Wisconsin today to talk about abortion. The vice president is hitting the road to talk about reproductive freedom, an issue Democrats want to highlight in the 2024 election. Her first stop marks the 51st anniversary of Roe versus Wade. Landslide in mountainous southwestern China buries dozens of people. The disaster struck in the early morning in the village of Liangshui in the northwestern part of Yunnan province. Rescue efforts were underway to find victims buried in houses, officials says. Sarah, the Duchess of York, diagnosed with skin cancer. The melanoma was found after several moles were removed while she was undergoing reconstructive surgery after a mastectomy. Doctors are analyzing it to see if it was caught early. 2 Navy SEALs who went missing off Somalia's coast are dead, the U.S. military says. After a 10-day search, the SEALs have not been found and their status is now decreased, U.S. Central Command said. They went missing during a U.S. operation to seize weapons headed for the Houthis. And finally, Tara Van Dever is now the winningest coach in college basketball history. Van Dever, in her 38th season as Stanford coach, passed Duke's Coach K's record. She's helped the women's sport come a long way since she started her college basketball career over 50 years ago. Congratulations there, Tara Van Dever. Nicely done. All right, now let's get to the sports because it was a lot going on. We start, of course, with the NBA. We'll leave football for last. You know, everybody wants to get to the football scores, but we've got a lot to cover in basketball, so let's do that right now. Get ourselves going. We have to go all the way back to Friday night's games. Let's look at them right now. Friday night, 76ers beat the Magic 124-109. It was the Hornets over the Spurs 124-120. Nuggets beat the Celtics, edged them out by 2, 102-100. Hawks over the Heat 109-108. Suns over the Pelicans 123-109. Trailblazers beat the Pacers 118-115. The Mavericks and Warriors game was postponed, and the Nets actually beat the Lakers. Actually beat them. Finally, they're now 17-24 or 25. They beat them 130-112. Then on Saturday's games, the Bucks beat the lowly Pistons again by 6, 141-135. 76ers over the Hornets, 97-89. Spurs 131, Wizards 127. Was the Knicks over the Raptors by 26, 126-100. Cavaliers over the Hawks, 116-95. The Rockets over the Jazz by 1 in OT, 127-126. Bulls over the Grizzlies, 125-96. And the Thunder beat the Timberwolves, 102-97. Then in yesterday's games, Nets lose to the Clippers, 125-114 in LA. Nuggets over the Wizards, 113-104. Magic beat the Heat, 105-87. Celtics over the Rockets, 116-107. The Pacers lose to the Suns, 117-110, and the Lakers beat the Trailblazers, 134-110. Tonight's games, Cavaliers at Magic, 7 o'clock tip-off. Spurs at the 76ers, Bucks at the Pistons, Grizzlies at the Raptors, 7:30 tip-off. 8 o'clock, Hornets at Timberwolves, 8:30 Celtics at Mavericks, Bulls at Suns at 9 o'clock, and the Hawks will go to the Sacramento Kings at 10 o'clock tonight. Let's go to NHL. Get all the scores going over there. Lots of going on in the National Hockey League. And let's look at it right now. We have to go all the way back to Friday's games. And, there we go. All right, so we start off with Friday, January 19th. Wild over the Panthers, 6-4. Hurricanes 4, Red Wings 2. Devils beat the Blue Jackets 4-1. And the Blackhawks in overtime take care of the Islanders 4-3. Saturday's games, Lightning over the Sabres 3-1. It was the Avalanche over the Flyers 7-4. Coyotes 3, Predators 2. Jets over the Senators in OT 2-1. Canucks over the Maple Leafs 6-4. Bruins 9, Canadiens 4. High scoring game there. Stars take care of the Devils in New Jersey 6-2. Blues over the Capitals 3-0. It was the Sharks over the Ducks 5-3. Golden Knights beat the Penguins 3-2. And the Oilers over the Flames in Calgary 3-1. And the Kings beat the Rangers 2-1. Then yesterday, Senators over the Flyers 5-3. Wild over the Hurricanes 5-2. The Red Wings 2. The Lightning 1. Islanders over the Stars 3-2 in OT. Ducks lose to the Rangers 5-2 in Anaheim. Maple Leafs beat the Kraken 3-1. Tonight's games have the Jets at the Bruins facing off at 7 o'clock. Golden Knights will go to New Jersey to take on the Devils. At 8 o'clock, Panthers at the Predators. 9 o'clock, Penguins at the Coyotes. 10 o'clock, Blackhawks at Canucks. And at 10:30, the Sharks will go to the LA Kings to face off. Well, now it's time for the NFL. And there's no Monday night games. There was no Thursday night games. This was the final divisional round. This is it, guys. This is coming up right now. Ravens take care of the Texans 34-10. Congratulations, Ravens. I knew you were going to go in there and do what needed to be done. You take care of it. You swamped them by 24 points. 49ers over the Packers 24-21. And I got a message for you cheeseheads in a little bit. Hold on here. Lions beat and upset the Buccaneers 31-23. And in a total upset by 3, the Chiefs, who were down 24-20, score the only touchdown in the fourth quarter and win by 3 to go on to the conference championship. They beat the Bills 27-24, setting up the conference championships. The Ravens and the Chiefs in Baltimore Sunday, January 28th, 3 o'clock. And the 6:30 game has the Lions at the 49ers. Whoever wins these games goes to the Super Bowl on February 11th. And now, for that important information that I wanted to address to you, here's what it is for those cheeseheads. You Packers fans, you're going to be eating rice-a-roni for a while. You know why? Because at this point, as I mentioned last week, if you could not beat the 49ers, inconsistency is your downfall. However, a lot of people have said that the Packers have a fantastic team that could take them probably farther the next couple of years. I believe that. I'll give them that. But right now, unfortunately, it's not your year. So you may have taken care of the Cowboys, but the 49ers dealt you a nice bowl of rice-a-roni for that cheese. Sorry. And as far as my Ravens are concerned, we are going to play a tough Chiefs team that is now looking to defend its Super Bowl title. Can they do it again? Or will the Ravens finally put a hold on Mahomes and Taylor Swift and company? We'll find out. And don't forget to watch Let's Talk Football as well this week to get all of the reactions from the people who have watched the sports and have analyzed it so much. We'll find out what they have to say. I can't wait to see what Victor's reaction is going to be on Wednesday. You'll just have to tune in at 7:30. It's 4:19 right now, and when we come back, more important information for you, plus news of the weird. And what day is today? We'll look at that. I have some comments as well. Oh, I meant you meant 2024, not 2004. Oh, thank you. I guess. Are we going back 20 years ago? Maybe. I don't know. Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate it. Here. Oh, I leave it to Brandon Martin to always correct me on things. That helps very much. All right. We'll be back with more of DMS 3000 News when we come back. It's News of the Weird right after this.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
You just said the magic words, and look what you did. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
You'll get the best for so much less. You both will flip the lid.
If it's new and hot,
It's a toy they've got.
and the prices are hard to beat. I don't want to grow up. 'Cause if I did, you couldn't be a Toys R Us kid. More games, more toys. It's the world's biggest
toy store. Let's go.
Tony Danza of Who's the Boss, Monday on Dayline.
I gotta feel the taste, gotta make it right, gotta taste it now, gotta get pumped, yeah, gotta get pumped. I gotta cause a splash, gotta feel the blast, gotta taste it now, gotta get pumped, yeah, gotta get pumped.
The pop sensation of Kellogg's Corn Pop cereal. Golden nuggets of corn popped up sweet and light. A poppin' great part of this nutritious breakfast.
I gotta get pumped, yeah, gotta get pumped.
Those lonely pound puppies really need to be rescued. Pound puppy, I'm so glad to find you. Put that lonely puppy pound behind you. You need a name. I'll call you Freckles.
Lots of pound puppies need your love.
Ask for me, Petey.
And when they're this lonely and this lovable, one more is always welcome.
Come sharing all our cuddling, caring puppy love.
Pound puppies. Each sold separately. From Tonka.
We will return after these messages.
He's been tied up, tossed up, warmed up, hung up, and even stuck up. But he'll never give up. Because he's the one and only Brer Rabbit. Back again on the big screen in Walt Disney's happiest classic, Song of the South. It's hair-raising fun and bear-falling excitement and one honey of a holiday treat. Walt Disney's Song of the South, rated G. Now playing at a theater near you. Check your local newspaper.
This is Bud Ball. He can spin. Here comes Katie rolling in. And this is Stewie. Where's he been? The Nerfles. Each character sold separately.
So much fun to clown around, change and rearrange around. Yes, Nurples are a ball to be around. Hey, Bud, what would you be if you had Stewie's ears? What? A bunny rabbit.
The Nerfles. You can collect them all. Little characters like Bud Ball, Katie, and Stewie. Each sold separately from Parker Brothers.
Around here, the early bird gets the Eggo. Gently put in the Eggo as not to arouse any sleeping taste buds. Cleverly divert its delicious aroma from filling their dreams with crisp golden Eggo waffles.
Hi, Dad. What's for breakfast?
Nothing.
And I can have this?
Let go my Eggo.
Eggo waffles from Kellogg's, part of this nutritious breakfast.
Gently put in the Eggo.
You down there, Daddy?
Surprise!
Hey, what are you doing on my medicine cabinet?
I'm the Pump Man, Aquafresh for kids. The toothpaste made specially for kids.
My very own toothpaste?
Right, I make brushing fun. I've got a zingy taste kids love, fluoride too. And I'm easy to pump and have a neat top.
Hey, Pumpman, hide. Here comes my mom.
Aquafresh for kids. I make brushing fun.
All right, it's time for News of the Weird. That's right. The editors at Andrews McMeel Syndication have been once again busy with another week of fantastic news articles, and we are ready to explore what they have to tell us. These articles, they go for the whole week from January 19th, 2024. The lead story today is the passing parade. South Korean motto, Ain, or Ayan, also known as Angel Box Girl, is being prosecuted for obscene exposure following incidents from last fall. Oddity Central reported that in Seoul and Gangnam, Ain walked through the streets wearing a large cardboard box with holes for her arms and legs, plus two more, which she invited strangers to put their hands in to grope her breasts and other body parts. Naturally, she attracted large crowds that police were called to disperse. It's freedom of expression, she said. I just wanted to market myself. I actually saw so many positive reactions with people telling me they support me and applaud my courage. Well, if found guilty, Ain could face a $3,800 fine and up to a year in jail. Oh, boy. And all for that? Okay. Well, pet owners who are exceedingly attached to their furry friends sometimes go to the trouble of having them preserved through taxidermy after they die. Now, after her Roborovsky dwarf hamster Hammy passed away last year. 27-year-old Jess Porter Langston, who lives in Brighton in the UK, sought out B. Ostraska, local taxidermist, hoping to immortalize her beloved pet as a pole dancing stripper. Metro News reported. This hamster was so iconic, and all my friends knew Hammy and wanted to see him, Porter Langston said. He needed something special. Ostraska posed Hammy on a small platform with a pole and sewed a little thong for him to wear, which is stuffed with tiny dollar bills. He got this creepy little smile going on, Porter Langston said. I was blown away. And what is more iconic than a hamster on a stripper pole hustling for money? What indeed? Well, the U.S. Federal Highway Administration, in an effort to suck any remaining fun from highway commutes, has laid down the law. And by 2026, states must ban messages on electronic highway signs that include references to pop culture or evoke a laugh. Examples: visiting in-laws, slow down, get there late from Ohio. Use Yablinka from Massachusetts and Hocus Pocus, drive with focus from New Jersey. The Associated Press reported that the agency wants the signs to be simple, direct, brief, legible, and clear, because clever messages might distract or confuse drivers. One Arizona state representative, David Cook of Globe, was underwhelmed. Prime example that the federal government is not focusing on what they need to be. Ooh. And be careful what you wish for. The Lexington, Kentucky Convention and Visitors Bureau appears to be desperate for tourists, the Associated Press reported. It is using an infrared laser to send messages toward potentially habitable planets in our solar system 40 light years away, luring extraterrestrials with lush green countryside and famous bluegrass. Now, Lexington native Robert Lauder, who's an expert in astrobiology, and SETI, which is the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, sound like an ET freak, conceived the idea, and linguistics expert Dr. Andrew Bird consulted. We included the molecular structure for water, bourbon, and even dopamine, because Lexington is fun, he said. See you in 2064. Well, there you go, friends. Jessica Beauty, she's 42 years of age, of Clearwater, Florida, thought she might throw off the court by submitting someone else's urine for a mandated drug test. The Smoking Gun reported that she didn't choose just any old random donor, though. She allegedly collected urine from her aunt's dog. Beatty was arrested on December 28th for possession of drug paraphernalia and driving with a suspended license. It figures. She had priors for cocaine possession and other offenses, and when she was confronted on January 11th for her fraudulent urine sample, she admitted that it wasn't her pee. Her bond is likely to be revoked, sending her back to jail. Well, let's see if she tries to pull another one, on the courts. In Oklahoma, a proposed new bill, HB 3084, would prohibit students who purport to be an imaginary animal or species, example, furries, from participating in school's curriculum or other activities. KOKH TV reported Representative Justin Humphrey of Lane, Oklahoma, filed the bill on January 17th. It would also require parents to pick up their furry offspring from school or risk them being turned over to animal control. Leave the cat ears at home, kids. You'll need your dictionary for this one. In York, England, signs have been popping up that appear to encourage citizens to exercise abundantly or opportunity. What the heck? I thought that was abundantly. The BBC reported on January 17th. Of course, no one knows what that word means. Knowing the police, it could be anything, said one resident. Social media has come alive with speculation about the signs, but it turns out that exercise abundity is the name of a training program involving the York City Council, North Yorkshire Fire and Rescue Service, and the Yorkshire Ambulance Service, and the signs are merely warnings of streets that might be closed during the activities. Stand down. Here's our least competent criminal. He's a man in Sulphur Springs, Texas, was arrested on January 9th for stealing a Lamborghini in Houston, KLTV reported. 34-year-old Everett Van Jennings parked the sports car in his own garage, police reported, along with 2 other vehicles he had nicked. Police said together they were valued at $500,000. The Lamborghini's owner tracked the car using a GPS device and set off the lights and alarms, but Jennings claimed to be out of town and unable to return home. Law enforcement got a search warrant, and along with the cars found materials used in VIN swapping. Jennings was charged with at least 2 felonies. And don't try this at home. Okay, everyone knows that opening a bag of potato chips can be as challenging as breaking into a bank vault, especially if you're hungry. But on January 3rd, a 75-year-old man in Dalton, Georgia, used an unorthodox and dangerous method that landed him in the hospital. The Charlotte Observer reported that the man tried to use a lighter to get his chips open, resulting in third-degree burns to about 75% of his body, and the recliner he was sitting in, chips, with their high concentration of fat and carbohydrates, are highly flammable. Try the scissors next time. Here's news that sounds like a joke. With freezing weather causing slippery surfaces, NHS Scotland, the country's health service, is advising people on how to safely move about the streets. STV News reported that experts suggest that folks walk like a penguin, with toes pointed out slightly, knees loose and arms extended out from the sides. Walkers should take short steps and keep their center of gravity over their feet. Now, while it may seem silly to walk or waddle like a penguin, the alternative may be a nasty injury or even time in the hospital. Dr. Emilia Crichton, she's the director for public health at NHSGGC. She said, penguins know best. And finally, in southwest London, Patreons outside a Greg's Bakery are being warned off of attacks by hungry crows. Not cows, crows. The Sun reported on January 16th, 23-year-old Paris Singh, who works nearby, said, it's happening every day. They all swoop down in a frenzy. 27-year-old Jay Baez, a barber, said, on Thursday, a woman was eating a bacon sandwich. The crow tried to rip it out and nearly scratched her head. Locals are hoping the city council will call in a falconer to scare the crows away. Just get a raven and go ahead and just totally destroy the crow. You know? There you have it, friends. All right. And if you would like to, of course, contribute a story to the editors at Andrews McMeel Syndication, you can go to uexpress.com/oddities, news of the weird. And, of course, those guys will definitely post it if they can kind of do the research on it. But remember, it's got to be a weird story because at this point, anything goes. And who knows what they'll come up with next week on News of the Weird. Yeah. All right. 4:34 is the time. When we come back, we're going to be looking at what day is today, the holiday. And I have some other important information I'll share with you towards the end of the program as well. And then our first article of the day is someone asked you to do me a favor over email. Don't respond. It's a scam. We'll tell you about it when we come back with more of DMS 3000 News right after this.
We've got puppies every place.
Puppies.
Every breed and every race.
At the puppy pound.
Get your pound puppies today.
Come adopt a hound. They're cute and neat and really sweet.
And fun to have around.
And now these messages.
There's something strange in the neighborhood.
So who you gonna call? Ghostbusters!
Look, Sonic, we're cool. We got ghost zap. Let's find those ghosts.
Batteries not included.
Yeah! I'm no ghost, but he is. I'll project one too. Over here. We're being watched. Fire Ghost Zappers. Charge the high frequency. We ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Ghost Zapper Ghost Projector Guns, each sold separately. Ghostbusters, new from Kenner.
Milky does.
Hey, Milky does a body.
Milky does a body good. Pass it on.
It's one to grow on.
Great for our frosty cold and furthermore.
It's full of what you're thirsty for. Ow.
It is.
It makes you feel good because it tastes so great. It really does a body good.
Pass it on.
Milky does.
Milky does the body good.
Milky does a body good.
Pass it on.
What's next on the lineup?
A station break.
We'll take over.
Have you DJ'd before?
No.
No?
But we do a morning talk show all the time.
Snap, it's the snappiest sound to do. Crackle, get you crackin' cause it's crispy through and through. There's no stopping once pop starts popping. Snap, crackle, pop, talking just to you.
You've just heard Kellogg's Rice Krispies, the talking part of your complete breakfast.
Morning listeners know Rice Krispies is a hit.
Getting into drugs and being high is a stupid thing to do. Be an original and take a stand. You're free to say no. Don't let a friend push you in. Taking drugs, you got a right to say no.
Surprise! Guess who?
The Loch Ness Monster.
No.
The Six Musketeers.
No.
The McDonald's Chicken McNuggets Happy Meal with regular fries and soft drink.
How'd you know?
Just a lucky guess.
Let's each get a Happy Meal. Yeah, they're terrific.
When you buy a Happy Meal at McDonald's, it always comes in an exciting special box.
Wow! Thanks!
Happy Meal boxes. Available at participating McDonald's.
Lend a helping hand. Support the efforts of the United Way.
Tune in to Today's Business for more than just business news. For Consuelo Mack, respected news editor and anchorwoman with over 10 years of financial journalism.
Texas Monthly points the finger at New York. They claim New York oil traders have sent oil prices crashing.
For Chief Economist Bill Wallman, renowned author, business analyst, and economic commentator.
It's going to continue to be slow growth.
The buck starts here with Today's Business.
Weekdays at 5 a.m. on KOTV Channel 6. Call Helpline at 583-HELP.
All right, it's time for the National Blonde Brownie Day. And yes, it's what day is today? And oh boy, this is a good one for all you sweet tooth lovers out there. Lovers of chocolate fudge brownies now get a chance to enjoy a blonde brownie for a chance to kind of live it up and mix it up at the same time. It's said that blondes have more fun, but what about blondies? Well, National Blonde Brownie Day, the answer is a resounding yes. Blonde brownies, also known as blondies, are baked bars that replace the cocoa in a brownie with brown sugar for a warm, rich butterscotch-flavored treat. Bars are more filling and substantial than a cookie and are delicious warmed up with ice cream for an impressive dessert or at room temperature for a quick snack. And for those times when chocolate is just too heavy, lighten up and enjoy a blondie. Now, on National Blonde Brownie Day, we celebrate these beautiful bars by baking, eating, sharing, and buying them. So here's the timeline. Starts in 1896. The first recipe for brownies did not include chocolate and was published by Fannie Farmer. 1906, heavenly chocolate was added to the ingredients of the brownie recipe. And then in the 1900s, the original chocolate-less brownie became known as blonde brownies. 1950, they finally became very popular. They rose to popularity as an alternative to typical chocolate brownies. That's right. So stuff your face, because use this National Blonde Brownie Day to indulge in every kind of blondie you can get your hands on. Take a tour of local bakeries and coffee shops and sample their blondie offerings. Do you like toffee chips mix-ins? walnuts, coconut spices, or do you prefer the classic? Find your favorite. And spread the word today that National Blonde Brownie Day by sharing blondies with your friends or family, and bake some blondies to bring to work, or stop by the baker to bring a batch to school. Now, want to keep your blondies for yourself? We get it, but make sure to post your most scrumptious pictures on social media to inspire your friends to get out there and eat a few of them themselves. Have a blondie bake-off, have a potluck where everyone brings the same thing, their own versions of blondies with chocolate chips or without, with nuts or without, with icing or without. Taste a variety of flavors and see which of your friends is the best blondie baker of them all. And why we love the day? Well, widespread availability of chocolate and cocoa powder is a recent phenomenon, but brown sugar has been around for a long time. In fact, one of the very first widely published brownie recipes came out in 1896 and contained no chocolate. Could it be that blondies are the original brownies? This changes everything. And as difficult as this is to believe, there are some people out there who don't like chocolate, or worse, are allergic to it. What happens when you want a non-chocolate midday treat that is more substantial than a cookie, but not as fussy as a cupcake? The blondie has got you covered, and deliciously to boot. And let's admit it, sometimes you lose the taste of the chocolate chip if it's in a brownie. In a blondie, however, if you mix in chocolate chips, those chips really pop. The smooth butterscotch flavor of the blondie allows the chocolate chip to do its thing, just like a great dance partner. So today we see that it's on a Monday. Next year, National Blonde Brownie Day will be on a Wednesday in 2025. Should be fun. We'll wait around for it to see when it comes up in the next time we talk about what day is today. So before we go to commercial break, I wanted to address some other things that I need to talk to you about. And I forgot to tell you that I have some fantastic news. As you know, of course, I am on Weight Watchers, and I've been on it now for a total of 8 weeks. Well, I jumped on the scale today, and wouldn't you know it, I lost another 2 pounds. So now I've lost 24 pounds total, friends. I'm on week number 9, and my current weight stands at 309 pounds even. Saw the scale today, saw that 309, and I just jumped for joy. I am 9 pounds away from getting to the 300 mark, and soon to go under 300 pounds for the first time in almost 5 or 6 years. I'm so excited about that. Can't wait. I still got a long way to go, but I could hit the 30-pound mark with another 6 pounds lost by the end of this week if I really play my cards right. I thank you very much for the continued support. Send all your messages on Facebook. Send me a private message, direct message. If you've got any suggestions on to what I can do to lose more weight or to lose more pounds during the week, that's fine. You know me, I'm going to splurge, but I'm also going to stay within my points. So either way, I've also incorporated Slim Fast into my Weight Watchers plan as well. A scoop of Slim Fast is actually 2 points without making it into a shake. Now, if you do a shake, it's about 13 points, but it still gives you that kick in the morning that you will need. So if you really want to have like oatmeal, you can put it in chocolate oatmeal. Yeah, it's really good. And it's 2 points with your oatmeal. So it's a 7-point breakfast on your way out in the morning. What a way to go. And also, tomorrow, I will not be here. Brian Snow is taking over tomorrow's show. I'm taking the day off tomorrow to spend some time with some great friends. But I'll be back on Wednesday with that great interview with Benjamin for the award show that's going to be happening on February 2nd. The deadline tomorrow is for the voting for the David 3000 Award show is tomorrow. Benjamin will be here on the 24th to explain more about the contest and the rules and all of that other good stuff. So please make sure you submit your voting forms before tomorrow's deadline. Okay? Definitely do that if you want to participate in the awards show. And of course, this show is up for grabs as well, too. So we'll see what happens. All right. It is 4:45. When we come back, we're going to look at the first of our 3 articles. We'll be looking at someone asks you to do me a favor over email. Don't respond. We'll be right back with more of DMS 3000 News right after this.
Happy New Year, Charlie Brown. Sponsored by McDonald's. It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
So how'd you do it?
I slipped.
He slipped.
McDLT everywhere.
It was muddy.
Running past and he slipped. This is pretty good.
The sun was in my eyes.
The sun.
Oh, this is great.
Are you using this fry?
Come on, guys. Give me a hand.
Comedians.
La 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 la.
Bops you up, yeah, bops you up, yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You know you got the song in your head. And the feeling's gotta come out.
I can feel your song.
Sing off key. You're in harmony. You rock, sing and shout.
Baby, baby. Baby, baby.
Whenever the song comes out of you, McDonald's keeps singing along with you. Do, do, do. Ooh,
Shake it, shake it, shake it.
it's a good time for the great taste of. Good time for the great taste. It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
Friday on CBS.
My mother's seeing a spy.
A mother's disgrace forces Scarecrow and Mrs. King to gamble with national security.
I might get lucky.
You didn't tell us you were having a party. On Saturdays, it's always a celebration with the fun of CBS Story Break.
If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired because of a drug or alcohol problem, the new year could mean a new life for you. Go for it.
You Earth people keep stars in a bowl.
Campbell's chicken and star soup.
Why do you put stars where you speak?
That's the way we eat. Mouth.
This is the way we eat. Campbell's tastes good.
Kids may be different, but Campbell's knows what they love. That's why we have 6 delicious soups for kids.
If you eat where you speak, do you drink where you listen?
Campbell's soup is good food.
Well, I got horses coming in and out of here all day long. Mealtime can come differently every day. I get this gnawing in my belly.
Snickers satisfies you.
Nothing satisfies like Snickers. It's a good solid snack.
Packed with peanuts, peanut butter nougat, caramel, and milk chocolate.
Snickers satisfies you.
Packed with peanuts, Snickers really satisfies.
When I'm feeling hungry, Snickers is one thing I know I can count on to satisfy me.
Madison Zoe Vettorino now talks about the phishing scam that would be very, very bad if you kind of gave into it. So here's everything you need to know to avoid falling for the "can you do me a favor" scam. Yes. Well, we'll be the first to admit that online scams can easily be mistaken for something real, and that's why it's essential to know all the main ones circulating so you can identify them if they cross your path. For example, one of the top recurring online scams is the "can you do me a favor" scam. Well, here's everything you need to know about how to protect yourself from this hoax. The scam works like this. You might receive an email from someone you think you know mentioning how busy they are and that they need to buy a gift card. Here's where it gets tricky. They'll typically say the gift card is for a feel-good cause, such as a charity. From there, the hacker will request that you purchase the gift card, send a picture of both sides, and they'll reimburse you later. But as you might have guessed, no feel-good organization benefits from your purchase. This scam works because hackers attempt to make it seem like there's someone you know. They might do that by signing the email with your name or using a similar address to that of your friends, coworkers, or loved ones. And unlike other online hoaxes, the Do Me a Favor scam involves gift cards. Scammers often use gift cards as they are tricky to trace, and hackers attempting to take your money can instantly download the funds. And while people might be wary of sharing their bank account information, many wouldn't think twice about sending a gift card, which is why the scam is worrisome. So, online scams are scary, but there are several steps you can take to ensure you do not get caught in the Do Me a Favor scam trap. Here are 4 ways to ensure this does not happen. First, the most foolproof way to avoid falling into the Do Me a Favor scam is by simply reaching out directly to the person who supposedly sent it. Usually, the scammers want you to believe it's someone you know who needs the money, so they might pose as your friend, relative, or coworker. And therefore, the best way to avoid online scams is by contacting the supposed sender via phone or text message and checking in. Another way to ensure you do not fall victim to the Can You Do Me a Favor scam is by considering the email's tone for context. Is the sender rushing you or making it sound urgent? If so, you'll want to double check to ensure it's the real deal. You might also see phrases such as, I need it now. Big red flag. Another way to catch a scammer is by checking the email address's validity. Sometimes it would be just 1 or 2 numbers or letters off from the email address of someone you know, so give the address a thorough inspection. And you know what they say, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So with that in mind, be careful to who you give your email address. Your email address is valuable information, and you want it to stay in the right hands. And now that you've armed yourself with this knowledge about the Do Me a Favor scam, you're better prepared if you come up against it. Keep in mind, of course, that email is just one place you can encounter scams. You should also watch out for phone scams, Instagram scams, and even Facebook scams. And there you have it, friends. A fantastic article that you can really pretty much trace right down to the very core of it. Okay, next up on the list here, we're going to look at how to tell if you're using too much laundry detergent. Well, they always say clean more is better, but not in this case. We're going to pull up this article right now and get you going. That was a short article, so that's good. All right, so we'll delete that one. Now, if you like also backtrack articles on this, you can always go to Reader's Digest and, of course, type in scams and everything, and it'll pull up all the scams that are available to you that could happen if you're not careful. Okay, now, how to tell if you're using too much laundry detergent. This is a good one here, and Caitlin Clark is going to tell us this great story. Even when laundry is filthy, smelly, and stained, more detergent isn't necessarily better. Here's how much laundry detergent to use. Our society lives by the mantra, more is more. More clothes, more desserts, more vacations, you name it. So naturally, when determining how much laundry detergent to use, we assume more detergent is better to get our clothes fresh and clean. And when stains or sweat are involved, go big or go home, right? Well, not quite. While it seems logical that more suds would mean squeaky clean garb, the opposite is actually true. To get the inside scoop, Reader's Digest spoke to stain expert Mary Gagliardi, a.k.a. Dr. Laundry, a laundry scientist at Clorox, and Laura Johnson, a research and development analyst with LG Electronics, which makes washers and dryers. With all detergent, avoid using too much, says Johnson. This can create too many suds, leading to higher water use, and can lead to buildup in the washer over time, which can cause odor issues. Learning how to do laundry the expert-approved way is a surefire method to ensure your clothes look pristine and smell fresh. Whether you're on the fence about powder versus liquid detergents or need a refresher on how to use laundry pods, these expert-approved tips will help you determine how much detergent to use and if you're going overboard on the suds, how to scale back. Now, like other companies, detergent manufacturers want to increase their sales, and a common strategy is to recommend using more detergent than necessary. We know that high efficiency, or HE, the washers, they can cut down on water, energy, and detergent. As HE washers and dryers sets grow in popularity, people are using less detergent than ever before. To boot, the machines themselves keep getting larger, with the capacity to wash huge amounts of clothing in one load. And that means families are running fewer cycles. This is also great news for American households, but not so great for detergent sales. So, are companies upping the recommended doses unnecessarily? Maybe. You could be the judge, but to save your money and your sanity, we've outlined exactly how much detergent to use for standard and HE washers. Well, pop in one per cycle for each type of machine, the pre-measured packs. Standard washers take a quarter cup of powder detergent, so if you're dealing with some serious dirt, use a half a cup. HE washers work best with 2 tablespoons. For liquid detergent users, use 2 tablespoons for a standard washer and 2 teaspoons for an HE washer. And if your water is soft, level down to 1.5 tablespoons for a standard machine and 1.5 teaspoons for an HE model. So, if you have a high-efficiency clothes washer, you must use an HE detergent, says Mary Gagliardi. She's Dr. Laundry. She says they are specifically formulated for machines that use less water per wash and will clean clothes without excessive suds. HE washers provide much more gentle agitation and therefore are much more gentle on fabrics, she says. However, this also means they do not clean as aggressively, and they rely more heavily on laundry product chemistry to make up the difference. This isn't a green light to use cups and cups of detergent. It's quite the opposite. These machines use smaller amounts of water, and as such, they perform better with less detergent. So the ratio of soap to water is balanced. Think about it. If there's a small amount of water, but huge amounts of detergent, the soapy solution overpowers the water, which will have a tougher time thoroughly rinsing off all the excess soap. Your just laundered clothes will end up with a sticky residue. And the biggest difference with HE detergents is that the different cleaning agents are used, says Gagliardi. They don't cause foam, which is a complete change from regular detergents, which do produce foam that is visible on top of the wash water during the cycle. And she adds that HE washers have more variable cleaning because of the way the clothing bounces through the wash cycle. For most laundry, this isn't a problem, but for colored items with stains, pre-treating the stain before washing is very important, she says. You can use HE detergent in traditional washing machines too. Just don't expect any foam or suds, Gagliardi warns. And of course, a standard detergent is your best choice for a standard deep fill washer, she says. Well, traditional top-loading washer has an essential agitator that swishes around detergent, clothes, and a lot of other water to lift stains and get stubborn smells out of clothes. Traditional washers more aggressively agitate the laundry, translating to more uniform cleaning because they are completely submerged in the wash solution. And since top loaders use a lot more water than HE machines, a whopping 40 plus gallons to HE washers 3 to 5, accidentally using a tad more detergent won't be too harmful because the water to laundry load ratio is so high. The biggest annoyance with using too much detergent in a top loader is washing the product and by extension your money down the drain. So do your wallet a favor and follow the instructions on the detergent packaging, but use the lowest level recommended even for larger loads. And don't just eyeball the amounts when deciding how much laundry detergent to use, says Gagliardi. Actually measure out the product to make sure you're using the lowest level of detergent needed. Please do measure, she says. Pouring detergent directly from the bottle into the water without measuring is a great way to make sure you use the wrong amount, either too much or too little. So, here is the table. If you're using laundry pods, 1 per cycle, powder detergent, 1/4 cup, 1/2 cup for heavy soil clothes, and 2 tablespoons if it's an HE washer. Liquid detergent, 2 tablespoons, 2 teaspoons for the HEs. Soft water, 1.5 tablespoons, liquid detergent, and 1.5 teaspoons. So you're using less on the water and on the detergent. And for you hard water people out there, 2.5 tablespoons liquid detergent, 2.5 teaspoons liquid detergent on the HEs. If you think you may be getting a little detergent happy with your laundry, take a look at a just washed load. If your wet clothes feel a little slimy, sticky, or soapy, you're probably sensing detergent residue. It's a telltale sign you're using too much product. Using too much detergent can also make your clothes smell funky, because the film it creates on clothes can actually trap in odors and bacteria. Other red flags include wet clothes that feel stiff or slightly hardened, colored clothes that have lost their vibrancy, and white clothes that have turned off-white or gray. If you're dealing with any of that, it's likely due to your laundry detergent. And finally, the king of all red flags. If your high-efficiency washing machine smells bad, moldy, or rusty, it's probably because soap has built up over time, and if this happens, you'll need to clean your washing machine with baking soda or vinegar before you do anything else. And less is more, generally speaking, but there are rare times when soiled clothes call for more detergent. If your clothes are super dirty, think your child's soccer uniform after a game, then using an extra dash of detergent will help remove dirt. Just be sure you're referring to the garment's laundry symbols to make sure you're cleaning it properly. And don't pour detergent directly on soiled clothes to sit overnight before washing. This can leave detergent marks on the fabric. Instead, Mary Marlowe Leverett, a fabric care expert and consultant with more than 40 years of experience, suggests creating a pre-soak solution of 2 tablespoons of liquid detergent per gallon of warm water. Submerge the heavily soiled item and then allow it to soak for at least 2 hours or overnight as a more effective stain removal method. Detergent usage guidelines on the packaging are based on the drum size of a traditional washing machine. If your model is supersized with a larger drum, typically seen in newer machines, you'll need to use a bit more than the detergent instructions say, because larger loads equal more clothes and more grime to rinse away. So if you use a single laundry pod for your usual load, you might toss in 2 for extra large loads. A large load of laundry is typically considered to be a load that fills the washer at least 3/4 of the way full, but it can vary by machine. And another little known fact is that water hardness is the efficacy of laundry detergent. And if you live in an area with hard water, wind, and it varies throughout the country, then you'll need to use more detergent. And of course, the trust factor. Yes, that's a very important thing too. These were always good references. And of course, Caitlin Clark is a beauty and wellness writer for Reader's Digest with more than 10 years of experience, covering everything from the link between hair care and mental health to innovations in medical aesthetics to the safety of sunscreen. When she's not playing with words, you can find her training for her next marathon or planning her next weekend escape. Thank you, Caitlin, for that fantastic article on laundry detergent, where more is not better. All right. When we come back, we're going to look at the Year of the Dragon and what 2024 has in store for you. And, of course, the motivation of the day to wrap up this fantastic program, tell you more about what Brian Snow is going to be doing tomorrow. And, of course, have our special guest, Benjamin. He's going to be on toward the end of the program at 5:15 to talk about the awards show that'll be coming up on February 2nd. More of DMS news right after this.
Saturday, her first husband died, but now she's starting over.
Let's get married.
Oh, okay, why not? There's only one problem.
I'm what you might call a ghost.
It's a hauntingly funny situation.
Do you want to live here with your mother and your dead husband, or do you want to marry me?
Sally Field, Jeff Bridges, and James Caan. Kiss Me Goodbye.
About our favorite subject, Oklahoma weather.
Hello, I'm Police Chief Bob Dick. Every day I'm out in the community talking with our young people, and the majority of these young people take pride in themselves. They take pride in their grades, their education, and achieving their goals. This year, TV2 has made a commitment to all of our young people. Through news stories, on-air public service announcements, and community events, they will be exploring the challenges and opportunities our youth are facing today. Support TV2 in their For Kids' Sake campaign. After all, the future of our community depends on our youth today.
Speak your mind, America. America speaks its mind on Donahue.
Weekdays at 9 on TV2.
You're watching KJRH, TV2, Tulsa.
Hey, guys, what you listening to?
Pop music. Snap, crackle pop music.
Can I listen too?
Sure, just pour the milk.
Snap, crackle, pop, talking just to you.
That's some sound system.
Kellogg's Rice Krispies, the talking part of this complete breakfast.
Rice Krispies is always music to your ears.
M&M's, peanut chocolate candies. You can share them. You can shake them. You can get outrageous with them. One snack packet free and Rice Krispies.
Now Tex-Hex attacks with a new kind of evil. Brave Star.
My Skullwalker will stomp you flat, Brave Star.
Skullwalker 3030 Brave Star and Tex-Hex Zone 7.
3030 can stand up to your evil, Tex-Hex. I'll transform Skullwalker and attack from the air. Use your blaster cannon to stop him, 3030. You're grounded, Tex-Hex. I'll get you for this.
Skullwalker and 3030 from the world of Brave Star. Other action figures sold separately. New from Brave Star.
This is our bus. This is our bus driver. This is fun. Fruit corners for roll-ups.
We love a fruit roll-up. They make our fingers slip.
Cool.
We love a fruit roll-up. Ta-ta-ta-ta. We love to let 'em rip. Let's have more. We are fruit and fun.
Rolled up in one.
We love the crazy big things too. We love a fruit roll-up.
Introducing the great big taste of new watermelon fruit roll-ups.
Milk it does.
Milk does body.
Milk it does a body good.
Pass it on.
Check it out.
It's so cool for hanging out. It helps you grow up big and tall.
It's good for teeth.
And that's not all. It does. Hey, Mr. Moo, what do you say?
Fresh moo juice makes my day.
Milk. It does the body good.
Pass it on. Milk it does. Milk it does a body.
Milk it does a body good.
Pass it on. Pass it on.
I just love Cookie Crisp cereal.
Taking to disaster?
Not me. I'm on a roll. It tastes like little chocolate chip cookies.
And it's a crispy part of this complete breakfast. Well, Cookie Crisp.
I know. Another white cup.
If you like cookies, you'll love Cookie Crisp.
Cookie Crisp. This ball isn't normal. The high bounce ball.
And now you can get one ball free in Cookie Crisp cereal. You can collect them in 5 dazzling colors. These high bounce balls are wild.
All right, Jill Dearman is going to tell us about 2024 and the year of the dragon, because it's Chinese New Year coming up in about 2 weeks on February 10th. So what does this year have in store for us? In the year of the dragon, a little boldness will go a long way, especially if you time it right. Find out when luck will be on your side in the year ahead. So welcome to 2024, the year of the dragon. And yes, it's going to be as fiery and bold as it sounds, since the dragon is considered the luckiest zodiac sign in Chinese culture. It will also be a marked contrast to 2023's year of the rabbit, when we felt more hesitant, introspective, and precarious about our place in the world. Whereas we put one toe in the water to test things out last year, we'll be diving right in as soon as the Lunar New Year hits. When exactly is that? This year, the Chinese New Year and the Year of the Dragon starts on February 10th, 2024, and ends on January 28th, 2025. Also worth noting, dragons aren't the only lucky thing about 2024. The upcoming year promises to be even better because of its Chinese zodiac element, wood. A wood dragon year has the potential to usher in good fortune, action, and expansion. And you'd better brace yourself because things will be happening quickly. But will everyone have this good fortune, or only a few select Chinese zodiac signs? Well, over my many years of practicing astrology, mostly Western with some Chinese, I have found that the symbolic animal has an uncanny amount of influence on all the signs, and that means you should buckle up for a whole different vibe in 2024. And while we need to show some courage over the next 12 months, we have every reason to feel more optimism because much more will simply happen in a wood dragon year. Here's what you can expect along with a handy guide to each sign's luckiest months. Dragon years can best be described as focused and driven, just like the people born under this Chinese zodiac sign. These folks are lucky and they know it. Their personalities are infused with confidence and they have no problem being assertive and taking on leadership roles. They also have a wild streak and enjoy a raucous good time. Dragons are apt to put the power into a power ballad at karaoke, and at work, they're the ones who make a game out of who can finish first, with a kooky prize to inspire everyone. Famous dragons include Sandra Bullock, Courtney Cox, and Emma Stone, and they exemplify the dragon personality with their energy, charisma, and spontaneous humor. It's interesting to note that the dragon is the only one of the 12 signs that is based on an imaginary animal. No wonder dragons are so charismatic and larger than life. They are truly fabulous creatures of fantasy. One problem, with all this bluster, they can also be a little hot-headed and arrogant at times. They do well to surround themselves with close friends who will be straight up with them rather than yes men. Having your stuff together will be very important during the year of the dragon. Winging it or showing up in sweatpants to a Zoom call will not go over well this year. Instead, you'll want to bring your A game and show that you are not just a hard worker, but a winner. Dragon years fare well for those with a competitive spirit. Prosperity will also be a big theme for all zodiac signs this year, but people born during the year of the dragon will be in for a particularly fortunate ride. Prospects are expansive on the career front, and you can earn the respect you deserve. The wood element will also usher in excitement, abundance, and growth. With the spring is in the air feeling, you're likely to experience more romance this year, as well as a desire to reinvent existing relationships so that they will feel fresh again. So which signs will thrive in the year of the dragon? The rooster, the monkey, and the pig. As mentioned above, if you were born under the sign of the dragon, you're in luck. This is the year that you really get noticed, and this good fortune will last all year long. As for the rest of the Chinese zodiac, the signs that are most compatible with the dragon, roosters, monkeys, and pigs. They will also be in for some smooth sailing in 2024. Let's start with roosters, dragons' besties. Well, they tend to be showy and performative, and they've got the moves like Jagger, and will likely grab attention from all the right people at just the right times. Much like dragons, they possess significant leadership abilities, and though they are more cunning than forceful in how they steer the ship. Monkeys should also thrive during the year of the dragon. They possess tons of energy and are apt to feel especially vital physically and vibrant personally in the year ahead. Well, as for the pigs, these folks appreciate the good life and are apt to do well in a year focused on abundance. Overall, expect each of these 4 signs' winning qualities to be amplified and for them to be gifted with more opportunities to manifest their dreams and achieve success. Which ones are going to have more difficulty? The ox, the rabbit, and the dog. Now, oxes, rabbits, and dogs will have a more challenging year. But don't worry too much. While you might not have the most linear path in the year of the dragon, you will still get where you need to go. These signs tend to be a little more low-key and humble, so they may have a harder time jumping into the spotlight during this assertive year. To counter this challenge, they should make themselves indispensable behind the scenes. Minding the details will make them everyone's go-to, and they will build up a lot of goodwill. Another boon for rabbits, they can continue riding their high from 2023's Years of the Rabbit in the transition weeks before the Dragon year fully takes hold. And in the rest of the year, they can build on some of their wins from last year. They're likely connected deeply with their beloveds during the Year of the Rabbit, and this year they can go even deeper in building intimacy. As for dogs, I have seen a few of my Year of the Dog clients thrive under challenging circumstances. It all boils down to their loyalty, a quality that makes them trusted by their offers or by others, and no matter what year it is, they're going to have problems. The tiger, snake, and horse may feel a little like the vice president this year, second banana rather than in the spotlight. And that's okay because they're building up momentum. By the way, I'm a snake. Remember, sometimes when projects and relationships are being developed, it's best to not shout from the rooftops about how they're going. These signs are better off being a little more private, except for their lucky months, see below, when caution can be thrown to the wind. As for rats and sheep, they are able to hold their own and fly under the radar most of the year, popping up for surprise victories during their lucky months. These signs should use strategic skills to plan, acting as an observer, and then pouncing into action when they have all their ducks in a row. Now, the rat. In June, rats are likely to feel at peace in their relationships with family and friends, and while December bodes well for prosperity in rats' lives, think a surprise windfall, overall December is when they'll have a sense that they're going somewhere. For you oxes, the ox people err on the side of caution, but will feel a little bit of freedom and willingness to take risks in March. Good luck also comes up in July, when their conservative nature can take a rest and peace out from trying so hard to be right. And if you're a tiger, tigers are an intense clan who may thrive during the kickoff of the Year of the Dragon in February, particularly in their social lives. Making new connections will lead to more good luck in both love and career. Tigers should get out and play as much as possible. And overall, those born in the Year of the Tiger are in for a balanced year. They may hit a bump in June as their energy wanes, but in general, they'll move slowly but steadily forward this year. Last year was your year, rabbits, and you may feel some of those good vibes again in February as you reap the rewards of your creative endeavors. The more you put your ideas and artistry out there for the public to see, the more success you will experience. August finds you in a particularly good place with friendship and romance. And we've said it before and we'll say it again. Dragon, this is your year. And dragons, we know you love hearing that. You tackled some hard times in 2023 as you had to finish up old business and cut some dead wood. However, February and May will be good times to start some important new business and forge new alliances. Your confidence is back in full force. And for me and those snakes, well, those born in the Year of the Snake should get a nice boost this year. After all, in ancient Chinese mythology, the snake goddess Nua presides over fertility, which is a big theme of any dragon year. For those who are hoping to have kids, this could be a literal time of fertility. May and August will be particularly good months for snakes. Expect your popularity to soar. If you're a horse, fiercely independent, horses will do best by following the beat of their own drum in 2024, particularly in March and December when they feel free to leave the home, the fires burning as they pursue bigger dreams. International travel is especially favored, but even if they stay home, they'll be focusing on big desires like a new house and new projects. And shy sheep will feel a little off kilter at times during the Year of the Dragon, but luckily their quiet natures Allow them to pay attention and tune in to what is going on around them. I have seen sheep clients excel under pressure, and this year is no different. April and July will be their luckiest months in 2024, as they'll feel a little more confident and extroverted. Famous monkeys like Ryan Gosling and Jake Gyllenhaal personify the energy of their Chinese zodiac sign. With all that physical energy to spare, they are likely to feel lucky most of the year. April and October will see them in particularly good form in areas of romance and collaboration. And roosters are on fire during the Year of the Dragon, as they possess the style and wildness that vibe best in the months ahead. They will be particularly prosperous in May and September, and their bold decisiveness should bring them abundance in spades. Those born under the sign of the dog may not feel completely at ease during the Year of the Dragon because of their sensitive natures. However, dogs love to give and will enjoy sharing with their nearest and dearest in the months ahead. April and August see a lot of their goodwill coming back to them as they reap the good karma they deserve. And pigs should fare fabulously in the Year of the Dragon, and prosperity will be their middle name. September and November are especially lucky for those born in pig years, as they will be able to see around corners and participate or anticipate trends that others may not be aware of. Great article. Jill Dearman. She writes about astrology and culture for Reader's Digest, and she's the author of Queer Astrology for Men and Queer Astrology for Women, and has written for dozens of publications over the years. She has been called the OG astrologer, which is a handle she liked to use in her imaginary life as an old school rapper. She's also the author of several crime novels, including Jazzed, a book on the history of feminism for teens, and a writing guide called Bang the Keys, 4 Steps to a Lifelong Writing Practice. She writes regularly about books for Crime Reads and the Brooklyn Rail. Ha! Very nice. And there you have it, friends. A fantastic article on the Chinese zodiac for the Year of the Dragon for all you others, including myself being a snake. Okay, now it's time, because we're getting close to the end of our program. We're ready for the Daily Motivator for today from Ralph Marston. Hope you enjoy the articles of today, and don't forget to join Brian Snow tomorrow for the 4 o'clock edition of DMS 3000 News, episode number 108. He's going to guide you. We picked some articles that he'll share with you. He'll also share some commercials and some fun stuff that he likes to talk about as well. He takes on the hour-and-a-half program tomorrow, and I'll be back with you guys on Wednesday. Now, for Ralph Marston and the Daily Motivator, let's see what today's motivation is. Monday, January 22nd, 2024. The title of this is Here and Now. Whoops. You get these things set, you know. Okay, here we go. All right. Title is Here and Now. And here and now you can forgive, laugh, appreciate, enjoy. Life's goodness is really not so distant or difficult. From pain to healing, it's not that far. From conflict to cooperation, you can jump in an instant. Stop caring so much about proving you were right. What makes life worth living is who you can be, the love you can give. Here and now is one little slice of time for you to fill with simple goodness. Offer a small kindness, a bit of understanding, a little effort that adds to life's beauty. Encourage, and you'll find encouragement. Act in the direction of your highest hopes and bring them steadily into reality. And there's always space for improvement, and your beneficial reactions can fill that space. Here and now, add to the value and meaning of life. Thank you, Ralph Marston, for another fantastic Daily Motivator for today. And of course, you'll see that Daily Motivator every day. I'll even give the link to Brian Snow, and he might share you for tomorrow's Daily Motivator. Well, that's going to do it for us today on this edition of DMS 3000 News, Episode 107 is officially closed for the evening. And we thank you very much for your continued support of the show. And we hope that you will join Brian and get some fantastic different perspective of things. And he'll share with you some of his commercials and promote, of course, his show. We fully hope that you'll enjoy tomorrow's show. I'm going to take a great day off tomorrow and be back with you on Wednesday. We'll talk with Benjamin about the awards show on Wednesday and cover some fantastic articles for the next couple of days ahead. From all of us here at the David 3000 Network, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Have a great evening, and remember, be honest, be real, and keep it simple, stupid kiss. We'll see you Wednesday. Good night.
Don't forget to subscribe to the David 3000 Network for more great content like this one.